Now tonight to the clemency for Oscar Lopez Rivera. Rivera grew up in Chicago and has been in federal prison since 1981.
He was a Puerto Rican nationalist who was convicted of conspiracy to overthrow the U.S. government. Investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy's here now with more on the president's decision.
The story of Oscar Lopez Rivera intertwined with the FALN terrorist group in the 1970s and 80s, a paramilitary organization in Chicago and New York that tried to bomb its way into Puerto Rican independence. By the time Lopez Rivera and his FALN terrorist associates were arrested 35 years ago, there had been more than 130 bombings in Chicago, New York, and other U.S. cities. The FALN's goal was an independent socialist Puerto Rico, but the primary means were violent attacks, and several people ended up dead and dozens injured. This Northside apartment building where Oscar Lopez Rivera stayed was raided by the FBI in 1981 and determined to be the group's bomb-making safe house. Oscar Lopez Rivera stayed was raided by the FBI in 1981 and determined to be the group's bomb-making safe house. In the drawers of this closet, federal agents found 10 pounds of dynamite in plastic bags. Beneath the floorboards, authorities uncovered detonator cords and blasting caps. During Lopez Rivera's trial in Chicago, he was characterized as a leader, recruiter, trainer, and bomb maker for the FALN. He was convicted of seditious conspiracy and weapons charges, sentenced to 55 years. The original sentence extended because of a plot to kill prison guards and escape from prison. The original sentence extended because of a plot to kill prison guards and escape from prison.
Puerto Rico's independence, that's what a group called the FALN did in the 1970s and early 80s, setting off bombs that killed 4 people and wounded dozens more in the city, including NYPD officers.
Now, according to witnesses, I was blown back 15 feet. He was blown up in the air.
Retired NYPD Detective Anthony Simpth is outraged Oscar Lopez Rivera, an FALN leader, will be released from prison after President Obama commuted his sentence this week. The group was behind a 1975 explosion at the Francis Tavern in Lower Manhattan. Simpth lost sight in one eye in a New Year's Eve bombing a federal court in Brooklyn in 1982. The same day bombs exploded at police headquarters and Federal Plaza. He says the FALN were terrorists, plain and simple. It was one of 3 NYPD officers gravely wounded in the 1982 bombings.
It demonstrates a complete disregard for the injuries, lifelong injuries that the detectives sustained.